I've just about had it with these pathetic little backdoor tricks that mainstream platforms, whether it's Google, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitter, are using to sandbag me, other folks I know, other channels that I see, other folks I hear, talking about how they're getting sabotaged. I've had just about enough of it, and I'm not just pissed at the pathetic little federal worker bees, the pathetic little clowns that are just following orders, doing what they're told. Hey, sabotage this channel. They're on the list. Sandbag that channel. Hamstring that channel, so when they post links to Facebook, nothing comes up. There's just a weird link there, or it doesn't even post. This is pathetic. And if our opponents in all of this, if these free speech opponents were worthy of respect, I would not mock them day in and day out. But they are pathetic. Why are they pathetic? Because they don't even know they've already lost. They don't know they're going to be tossed away. They don't know they're going to be laid off. They don't understand that a month from now, 6 months, 2 years, maybe 5 years from now, they are going to be downsized out of existence. And here's why. Capitalism, competition. You cannot keep 330 million Americans down. You can trick them. You can lie to them. You can defraud them. You can fake them out with Barack Hussein and every other clown on TV. You can do that for some time. I think we've demonstrated that. We've all demonstrated that we can sit here and get duped for quite a while. But there comes a point where lying is not enough. And frankly, if you have to lie day in and day out about everything, 24/7, about everything, the unemployment rate, GDP, jobs, the military, where you're sending the military and why, free speech, which is actually heavily censored. If you have to lie about stealing people's doctors and give it a happy name, Obamacare, if you have to lie about defrauding people's children out of medical care so that you can run a boondoggle and spread the money that would have gone to treat those children, spread that money around to your cronies in D.C., if you have to lie about that, that's just beyond, I mean, you're done. You're done. That's beyond pathetic. You're done. The sand is running out of the hourglass. They know. I think the smarter ones at the top, the smarter commies, know they're done. They're not true believers. They know this is just a Ponzi. They know they've hollowed out the dollar. Thanks, by the way, for destroying the American dollar, for destroying our currency. People have worked their entire lives to get retirement accounts, save up $2 in treasury bills, and what are they making? What's it worth? What's it worth? Half a point? What's it worth? Half a percent? 1%? What's inflation meanwhile? Well, if you ask the frauds in D.C., inflation's low. What's inflation really? I don't know. 7, 8, 9, 10%? I don't know. You tell me. Your guess is as good as mine. They are lying about literally everything. And their last gasp, I know you little phonies down in Arlington at your little agency. Okay, I know you're getting yelled at. I know Soros is making angry phone calls to various blackmailed senators, various blackmailed congressmen, various blackmailed governors of whatever state. I get that Soros is making angry phone calls, threatening to, release compromising photos of them if they don't crack down on John Q. Public. But let me tell you something. There's 330 million John Q. Publics. There's nothing you can really do. Like I said, capitalism. Capitalism. I don't want to hear Infowars whining about how their advertising partner, whoever this is, whoever carries their ads for their products, whatever the heck the company's called, decided to pull the plug on fake news and just broke their contract with Infowars. I don't want to hear them whining. You know why? I'll tell you why. Capitalism. You ever hear of competition? I'm sure somewhere out there, Alex Jones or whoever can pick up the phone and inside of 2 minutes, he can find Mr. Finkelstein floating around Beverly Hills somewhere, and Finkelstein wants to make a few bucks. Okay? And Finkelstein will carry the Infowars ads. All right? This is ridiculous. Acting like, keep in mind, Infowars has the seats filled. They've got the movie theater, so to speak, filled to the brim, sold out every night. They've got 20, 30, whatever it is, 40 million viewers a week. I don't know what the numbers are. My eyes would probably pop out of my head if I saw those audience numbers. They have the number, seats filled, not once every 2-3 years when they release a Mission Impossible movie with Tom Cruise. No. Infowars has those seats filled right now as I'm making this segment. They have it filled an hour from now. They have it filled tomorrow and every day of the year. They have this audience permanently, it appears. So they've got folks at home on the couch 24/7. Tens of millions of people. So they have the power. So acting like they are somehow being disenfranchised, are they being screwed over contractually? Absolutely, probably by this ad company. Fine. Say goodbye, Mr. Smith, and I'm calling Jerry Finkelstein out in San Fran, and Finkelstein's going to carry my ads. Okay? If it's that bad, just switch to a different company. And this gets into me talking about YouTube and Facebook and all these platforms. Why do I share to these platforms? Because right now they have the eyeballs. The eyeballs are using those platforms. They got millions of eyeballs. That's where people are right now. But quite frankly, folks, we need to start now migrating. I made a video. I'll put the link below. Should you quit Facebook or not? Should you stay on Facebook? I say for now, stay on these platforms while you expand onto other platforms, because frankly, you're not sharing for your own, physical gratification, and you're not really sharing to get rich, because none of us are getting rich off this. Maybe Infowars is making a ton of money. I don't know. I'm not getting rich off this. So why stay on these platforms? Because that's where the liberal eyeballs are, and the liberal mind is the Wild West. They are losing their mind over Trump. They are primed for an awakening. Pretend half the country is conservative and pretend half is liberal. That's millions and millions of liberals just waiting to get woken up, and they are trying to pry us off, to peel off any free thinkers, peel us away, spook us, shoo us away from Facebook, from Twitter, from YouTube, from Google+. They don't want us strolling around lobbing truth bombs willy-nilly at who might happen to be listening. They don't want us throwing truth bombs on those platforms, because what are we doing? We are contaminating their programmed liberal robots. They're programmed liberal terminators, these lifelong brainwashed drones. We are contaminating them with some kind of interesting questions, with some curious facts. Hey, how about this false flag? Hey, did you see that guy get fake killed on the news the other day? Why do you think they pulled that stunt? We are asking too many questions, and they're trying to pry us off and get us out of the way. So, long term, what's the solution? Long term is we diversify and we co-opt some other platforms, or we start our own platforms. Infowars gets their own ad partners up with some other ad platform. Okay, fine. Go do it. We find some other replacements for Facebook and Twitter and so forth, and we migrate to those platforms. That's the long-term solution. What happens to all these little clowns down in Arlington, Virginia, working for the feds, that think screwing with our YouTube channel on the back end is going to, change the world and bring out the unicorns? What happens to them? They're going to get downsized. They're not going to be effective. They can keep working there if they want. They're not going to be effective. Capitalism, competition, innovate. We have 330 million people here. Innovate, create new platforms, create new workarounds around this totalitarian system. One final footnote. A lot of us cheered Donald Trump on the off chance that he might change things, on the off chance he might put the kibosh on this growing tyranny, on this blossoming dictatorship. What's happening now? Well, it appears nothing has changed. It appears we are still in lockstep on the censorship. We are still marching. The censorship is still marching and steamrolling people. We're just marching along in the same exact direction we were marching before. And you know what? That's not what people wanted. That's not what folks voted for. That's not Trump's job. Now, keep in mind, I'm for the free market. I don't want Trump pulling a fascist stunt where the politician calls up the corporation and says, hey, Facebook, you must stop censoring Bob. You must stop, hey, Twitter, you must stop censoring Jerry. No, 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 no. I don't want a politician giving orders to that corporation. But Trump could step to the microphone and say, hey, you know what? I just got off the phone with whoever it is, Infowars or so-and-so, my cousin, whoever. And they're getting sabotaged on Twitter. They're getting banned and shadow banned and blocked and sandbagged by this Facebook, this platform, that platform. Trump could set the tone to alert folks, hey, you know, he could point it out. He could raise awareness of this censorship. Is that happening? Well, not so far. Not so far. So is Trump just a happy face to keep us, whistling along while we get robbed and milked and taxed? Could be. But Trump needs to step up and at least point this out in the arena of ideas, in the arena of debate, and then let folks reach their own conclusions and say, hey, do I want to stay on Facebook? Do I want to ditch it? That's it. Subscribe to Barry Soetoro channel. I'll tell you something. 330 million Americans, we're not going anywhere. So if you want to play these little footsie games down in D.C., you can play footsie all you want. You can kowtow to George Soros all you freaking want. In the long run, we win.